Angleton, the way you spin that story round. Always sharp, just like a tack when you're tracking the price of the dollar and pound. But drop the narrative, that thing that you inherited. Your history homos chariot just pulled up outside. Scott, William, Patrick on the scene, they're breaking up the subroutine. Something's crackling in your brain, and K-Ultra make you go insane. Hey, don't you know we're only on the case for a good time, baby? Took a rose pill, now I'm reading these books for a long time, baby. Honey pots and psyop traps, you can trust the plan until you snap. Slop conspiracy everywhere. History homos clear the air. Close your eyes, what's truth or lie? Hiding in the space between. Reality's a tangled scene. Tune in, you'll know what I mean. Close your eyes, what's truth or lie? Hiding in the space between. Reality's a tangled scene. Tune in, you'll know what I mean. Hey, history homos only on the case for a good time, baby. Took a roach pill, now I'm reading these books for a long time, baby.
And we're live. Welcome back to the show. This week, joining William and I is the effervescent Monica Perez on a 7 o'clock in the morning her time.
You're fucking with me.
Well, I just feel bad that I got you out of bed this early.
No, it's a privilege. I feel like I get more than my fair share of William shows, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, you're our fave, so.
Aw, I'm your favorite, as my son says. You're the best mom I ever had. So
That
I'm your
rules.
favorite female guest.
No, we got a few. We've had a few. Shouts out to Carrie Caravis.
Yeah, she was great too.
She is great.
And the chick from New York City, she was good. She's not Syrian,
Yeah.
but she was something like that.
Something
And then
like
there's that Fed whose name will not be spoken.
We're not talking about that again. I'm
I
done
can't
with
remember her name.
And that's it.
Yeah.
that. But okay, so before we start, we do have an incredibly interesting topic to discuss this week of Williams Genesis. But Monica emailed me a question that I feel is show fodder. And the question was basically, well, actually, why don't you phrase it to me the way you want it? I don't want to miss.
Yeah, I was doing a show with Marcel Gautreau, who I
Shouts out, friend of the
discovered,
show.
yeah, through your show. And he's one of those guys, just, it's very funny, makes me laugh, but it's like super cringy for me because he just goes there every single time.
Yeah, William. He is a black libertarian anti-Semite.
Oh, base.
Jeez, come on. God, jeez. Anyway, yeah, he was like reading uns on my to me on there. I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So anyway, he does a book club, whatever, where he reads books, and one of them is Blacklisted by History. It was about Joe McCarthy, kind of remediating Joe McCarthy, whatever. And I just wondered if you wanted to join us, because I'm sure you have opinions about Joe McCarthy. And the question was Joe McCarthy, whatever, a McCarthyite, witch hunting a-hole? Was he a like righteous crusader against communism in a time that was so greatly needed, or something else? Something I never even
I
thought
think
of.
it's a little bit of everything because like he
I knew William was gonna have to comment on this. Was why I wanted him on the show, by the way.
yeah, because that was I only really
Roy
know about
Cohn's.
that from the Roy Cohn book. Yeah.
Right.
So
Um,
I think it's like, I don't know, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson is the best example of this. But I mean, it's the most accessible example for people. But it's basically, I think what happens is if they can't control something, they buy it. And I think that happened to him.
yes.
What do you mean?
Like the
He
people.
became a system pawn.
Yeah.
You're saying he started out as a true blue anti-communist crusader, and then
so.
they controlled him to do what? I mean, he went down with the shit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I
Exactly,
just
yeah.
want to say that the entire
So did
he-
Dr. JBP.
so yes, definitely so did Peterson for sure.
You think he started out legit and they just co-opted him?
He was doing like clean your room and like get a
Yeah.
girlfriend stuff. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it was good. That's the thing that I'm kind of
Yeah.
confused. I was like, wow, I totally feel that way. Like,
Yeah, and
if
then
I'm
now look at
depressed,
him.
I
He's
clean my room.
swearing at Elmo about being anti-Israel. Like,
Oh, yeah, and get the vax and everything. Oh, because he had the thing. Wow, okay, all right.
but anyway, just to fully give my take on Joe McCarthy. First of all, it must be said that the entire anti-communist Red Scare movement is fictional. There's no, like, both sides are controlled by big money. That's a fact. So the entire dialectical conflict is contrived at best. The other thing is, like, the entire, like, the Simon Birch, the John Birch Society, dude, we just talked about this in our China episode, me and Patrick, but John Birch was an OSS agent, first of all.
I heard you say that.
Yeah. And it's started by like a guy high up in naval intelligence who are like the guys who basically, this is the people who Dr. Strangelove's making fun of, like, essentially.
Right.
These people who are super radicalized into believing their own bullshit about communism being this existential threat. But it's really just serving to, like, give a, like, ideological bent to the whole military-industrial complex thing. So, I get that. Here's the problem, is that outside of McCarthy didn't catch anyone who was actually spying for the fucking Reds. Like, those guys almost all got away, except for the Rosenbergs. But pretty much all those guys got away with like the information to make the nuke and all kinds of shit. And it didn't matter that Joe McCarthy was going after like slightly liberal like screenwriters and shit.
And actors.
Yeah.
Well, they if there's any further evidence needed of the, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the Cold War was fake.
Yeah.
On a ideological basis, anyway. But events of the past decade or so have really just underscored that it was always really about scoring over Russia.
Yeah.
And even though they inflicted this beastly communist regime on them, still not enough. Still got to have more revenge.
That's
never
the Quigley take too, by the way.
Yeah,
William.
yeah. There's never the lust for revenge by a certain group is insatiable as regards Russia.
Yeah, they really don't like them. And the other thing is, again, the Quigley take is like the moment that an empire stops growing, it starts shrinking. And
Yes.
they're like, oh, we gotta make sure that we're the primary empire and fuck Russia because they present an existential threat to Anglo-American slash
Yeah.
Israel like primacy. Yeah.
Hello.
I have a bunch of things because so you couldn't join me for the show, but you sent me an email with an excerpt from Citizen Cone
Yep.
saying that Joe McCarthy
Is
was
gay.
homosexual and they were going to out him for that. I found an article by
Hank
Andrea,
Greenspun. Oh,
yeah, like by Andrea Friedman. Like I don't know if it's a relation to Milton Friedman, but where she called it the lavender scare, so
well,
that
they're all
they,
related.
Same tribe.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was always taught there's really two different subgroups, but whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so that she was saying that this lavender scare thing, they used homosexuality against anti-communists to rein them in. And those accusations weren't always true. But regardless of whether it's true or not, it got me thinking, which I proposed to Marcel, who's funnily normie in some things. Like I asked him what the evidence of the, he believes in the moon landing. It's like, what's your evidence? And he said, like, I have none. So I'm like, okay, so I'm crazy, but you have no evidence. I have some evidence. So I said, I think that that the Rand Corporation basically and all that implies was behind this, Oppenheimer, everything. They had to get the nukes in the hands. You have to have a legitimate competitor if you want to engage in an arms race. And how do you get people behind that? Scare them. So I had concluded that just from that little thread that you gave me to pull on. And another thing that I even brought this up to him. I was like, I can't figure this one out, but now I get it because of the OSS John Birch thing. Have you ever heard of Regnery Press?
Yes.
So my father had a book that he loved called Backdoor to War. He fought in the Pacific and he came home, and in the 50s he was totally awakened to the fact that it was bullshit. Yeah. So there's Backdoor, and I looked into it. It's still in print, and it was printed by Regnery Press. And then somewhere else I read that that's like a CIA front. I'm like, how the hell is something that's just full of all these secret State Department documents completely expose the fraud of Pearl Harbor?
They like letting you know too, for the record.
Oh, it's like Revelation of the Method.
Yeah, I think so a little bit.
I think Revelation of the Method is just as often a flex.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so like they're just like to you and to their peers. But they're like to their peers, like I am in control here. So now I realize the reason Regnery Press can pull out all that truth is that silo thing where they can give it to the people they need to be warmongering.
Radicalized by it, yeah.
Yes. So many, just that one little excerpt from the book that you sent me, I solved a lot of questions I'd had building up over the years.
Yeah, anyone who's like within arm's reach of Roy Cohn sucks. Like that includes Bobby Kennedy, by the way.
Yeah. I feel bad because my mother loved Roy Cohn, said he wasn't gay. Like she totally loved Joe McCarthy. She couldn't think he was gay because she loved him. So
yeah, of course.
I know that's sad.
Nice
but
Catholic lady. That's
it's a
beautiful.
Catholic thing. So but I wanted to say, Spangler, I believe it's Spangler. Was he the guy who thought everything was math? Did you ever read it?
I can't comment on that. I don't know enough. We'll have to ask Romanized Visigoth about it.
It's
He's
so
a big
annoying
guy.
because it's a good book, but then it's like fucking Nazi, I guess, or something. I don't know, but like,
well, he's he's before Hitler, but
yeah, it's a bummer because he's like Arnold Toynbee, where he's got like a vision of total history, like system, like waves of history, like you were saying. Quigley says, well, if you've got, if they stop something, even if they're making money, they're on the decline.
Yeah.
I forget what Quigley's one was, but Spangler's one was eclectic architecture.
Interesting.
Eclectic architecture.
I got to read it. Romanized Visigoth's been on my ass to read Spangler for like a year and a half.
It's a signal of the end of civilization. And another thing that MacArthur said and others have said, different religions. If you have different religions in a culture, if you don't have exactly aligned values, you can't move forward because you're detracting from the other person's progress, which is exactly what we have here, even though our religions are secular. Anyway, done.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that begs further review. I don't know enough about it to comment on it. But So to the main event here, William, I will normally go, oh, what got you interested in this? But reading it, I obviously know what got you interested in this. Now
Well,
without
actually, I'll tell you,
docs,
there is a story.
okay, please.
It was because I teach English class for the older kids at my homeschool co-op, and one of
Mr. from England.
one of the other one of the other mums, who is an excellent person, suggested, because we're like, let's have a
Your
book that
future
we're all
next
gonna
baby
read.
mama.
No, absolutely not. No, she's
Okay.
it's a Christian group, and she's got 6 children and a husband.
So do you. Well, not a husband. Anyway.
Yeah. So she said, "Oh, let's do Ivanhoe." She just said Ivanhoe's good. So all right. No. So I listened to the audiobook of it, which takes a long time.
It did.
It's got
3 weeks of me reading this book.
Yeah. Well, it's 3 novels, and it is definitely in 3 acts, isn't it? It's
For sure.
I think the second one's the most fun.
Absolutely, you're right.
Yeah.
So wait, what are the 3 acts? Like, it's a little early for me. I know there are 3 acts. So the first one was
The tournament.
The pageant.
the tournament.
Yeah.
The last one was the trial, Rebecca.
And
The middle one is
the
the siege.
Oh yeah, that was great. As a matter of fact, I looked up like what castle was that, and the next time we visit William in England, where we have a really old castle lined up. Am I right? And then that other one is right near York.
Without no docs.
The one where
I don't know. I think we've doxed that. No,
It's pretty close. It's pretty close,
all right.
but it's not that
Yorkshire,
close.
fair enough.
Yeah.
everybody's in York. Like it's just that's where the castles are.
Yeah, the one.
You
one
doxed
where-
them by saying don't dox them.
I'm just kidding.
the one where Athelstane lives is very close to me, and that's
Yeah.
still standing.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah,
Conisborough.
the climactic
Yeah, that's the one.
funeral.
That's
yeah.
the one. Okay.
Yeah.
But not Torquelstone or whatever.
No, I don't know what that
Well, that
is.
one
What's
burns
supposed to
down
be.
in the book, if you recall.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But I'm not sure that's historically accurate. But yes, I totally want to do more castle hopping.
Yeah. for
You
sure.
should come, Scott.
Yeah, that's cute. Me being able to go on vacation.
I'll give you miles. What if I floated you miles?
It's not the money. I can't just get away from like my day job and shit.
Okay. You could take the little lady on a little trip once in a while.
Hey, we go to New Hampshire yearly.
Okay. Keep moving. Go ahead.
I went to Newport, Rhode Island. Remember?
Don't you live in Newport, Rhode Island?
Not close, but no.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a vacation, but okay. All right. So yes, the second one was awesome.
Yeah.
And the second act was awesome. I liked it all, but yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean the first one. I think.
Well, kind of tell us your backstory. So it's just that you had it in class and you were like smitten by it.
Yeah, I read through it. I thought, wow, this is great. And then I read it again in September, and I'm reading it again now, but with the little one, so it's taking a long time.
So I want to say that my approach to any kind of fictional anything,
Yeah.
I really only have like one lobe in my brain, I think, and it's math. So I don't have this
Euro
stuff.
Spenglerite.
Oh God. I walked right into that one. So I just I'm like, wow, that was good. Like every movie, every book, I'm like, wow, that was good. I really
I'm the
like
same.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to keep reading it.
It was
and
good,
then and because great books are very often good books. But I also love your that's why I like Tolstoy. I just love your story that has plot and setting and character development. I want it to be good. I want to check all the boxes. Don't give me any of that 60s bullshit where there's no plot, everybody's suicidal. Like I don't want any of that. I want a beginning, a middle, and an end. I want all of the elements of literature, and this has all of that in spades to the point. And it's also an example of one of those things that it invents something, and it's also the best of something.
Yeah.
Which isn't always true.
No, well, I mean, and I think reading it, I mean, I read a little bit about the author, which is Sir Walter Scott. Isn't
Scott.
It? Yeah, and he's a very he's like a sort of 19th century Shakespeare in a way, in that he invented this format of an historical novel that isn't just about royal intrigue and stuff. It's about people,
Human beings, yeah.
yeah,
And even the clothing and
Yeah.
how the food and the hall and everything.
yeah, it's super. But he invented that, so like you can say, oh yeah, I've read loads of novels like this, but it's kind of like you know, you hear somebody shredding guitar. Oh, if you listen to loads and loads of terrible guitar playing in your life, and then you hear Jimi Hendrix, you just go, well, he's just like all these other guys. But yeah, he invented that terrible style of playing a guitar. You know what I mean?
I have a great quote I found. I can't remember where it was, but may I read it to your point?
Yeah.
Okay, the technique of the omniscient narrator, and the use of regional speech,
Yeah.
localized settings, sophisticated character delineation, and romantic themes treated in a realistic manner were all combined by him into virtually a new literary form, the historical novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to speak to that, by the way, Monica, you've often asked me my definition of like various forms of literature.
Yeah, what is
this book
romanticism?
really helped me put my tongue on it, my finger on it, I guess. The romantic themes that they're talking about meaning like it reinforces a worldview. It has a worldview, and the book serves to display like a moral underpinning throughout the course of the story, and every part of the story goes towards reinforcing that moral outlook.
Yeah.
And I would say I said this recently on I don't remember what. Oh, it was when we were talking about the Legend of Sleepy Hollow on Substack, by the way. Check that out. It was a reactionary movement against like capitalism, basically, or industrialization, where people are moving to the cities. They're sort of losing their sense of place. They're losing their moral center. And the romantic movement is like a reactionary movement against that, and being like, hey, don't forget, it's a combination of popular media and having a moral basis and a worldview, which was new in popular media.
Yeah, well, popular media was pretty new.
Exactly.
Don't forget, people had only just learnt to read, and they're like, it's amazing how many great writers there were in English in the 19th century after people learnt to read.
So I looked up after I was listening to that romanticism, and it looked to me like I totally agree with you, but that it actually officially emerged after Walter Scott.
Yeah,
so
he's like
maybe
a proto-romanticist.
Yeah, which also has to mean that he contributed to its emergence, I guess.
Yeah,
but also he wrote a couple of articles for Britannica, and one of them was on chivalry, and it's so interesting. And he really brings out the elements that he's bringing out in Ivanhoe is consistent with what he is claiming to be historical truth, even to the point where their morality, they would die for it, and it started with their lord and their lady or something. And
he was also a poet. But what he really was an antiquarian and a historian. Ever since he was a little boy, he'd been collecting stuff. And before he wrote Ivanhoe, he wrote loads of historical novels about Scotland, which is what he was interested in.
But then he needed money.
Yeah, so he wrote Ivanhoe, yeah.
So what do you think is the most famous quote of his is a line from a poem. It's probably the most famous quote in the whole world. Both of my parents said it all the time.
"O woman in our hours of ease, coy, uncertain, hard to please. When pain and anguish rack the brow, a ministering angel thou." He wrote that.
That's what my parents said all the time. It's definitely not. He wrote that, and I know. Yes, I think you sent that to me.
Yeah.
Takes a couple of shots at the chick, but he wrote I think it was in Marmion, which is that great one that you suggested.
That's a clip from as well.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
Right, yeah.
When first we practice to deceive.
Wow. He did that one as well, yeah.
He really nailed that one, boy. That is Shakespearean, downright Shakespearean.
I mean, yeah, the guy's a Shakespeare.
Yeah.
He's like he can just write. I will say this though, and this is a bit nitpicky for the guy who invented the format to say that I don't like this about it. The introduction to it is far too long. Don't read the introduction, I would say. If you're going to read Ivanhoe, just don't bother reading the introduction.
Like,
it's a fake letter. It's a fake letter, the first chapter, yeah.
And it is a bit slow getting off the mark, although it does introduce the two funniest characters straight away, which is smart.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
I also, the best thing about like the two funniest characters is like they themselves are like some of the most profound characters in the book as well.
Yeah, they're the
which
through
really
line.
speaks to
it
really speaks to his like love of humanity, even down to the lowest man and stuff. And also the other thing is the elevation of this idea of a yeoman. This was like contemporaneously, this was something that was like big in America right now at that time, particularly in like New England, by the way. It was this idea of being a yeoman farmer and getting your like your ability to vote based on the fact that you're like a landholder or something, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't skip that first chapter. I mean, you know
The
what this.
introduction.
Well, for me, it just says chapter 1.
Oh, right. Well, the edition I've got, it's got this fake letter in it.
No, this starts in that pleasant district of Merry.
Oh, no, that's where you want to start reading it.
Yeah, definitely.
So whoever edited your edition of it did it right.
They did it better. Better job. And then I happened upon this lovely book, a used book that has a couple of other of his novels, which I'm eager to read, but I just love a nice book. This is just paperback.
Yeah.
I also appreciate the repeated use of the word niggard.
Niggard, yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean cheap?
Yeah.
Yeah, like to be like a
Yeah, my
cheapskate,
mother used to
like,
say that. He's
Yeah.
niggardly.
I know. It's just it's a word that for obvious reasons fell out of favor, and it's just it's refreshing to see it back on the page.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Knickers.
Yeah.
He strews his
Short pants,
hospitality.
I mean.
But it was fairly prevalent in England still in my youth, where it's
me too.
he strews hospitality with no niggardly hand would be a way of saying it.
But no, but to the point that Girth being we're gonna talk about these characters.
Well,
By the way,
his name is Girth. Like I can't.
it's Gurth.
I know, but so what? Come on.
I also want to say this for
Well, he was probably pretty jacked.
seemed like a great guy.
I think he
Guy
was
I'd like to
excellently
meet.
jacked. Yeah. But what's it called? I've been calling my cat alternately calling my cat when he's being good, he's Girth. And when he's being bad, he's Reginald Front de Boeuf.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we going to go through the plot, or should we?
I feel like no. We'll give the.
Let's go through the plot before we do that other bit that we did in the chat the other day.
Sure, yeah.
I got in the second chapter. I'm like, these fucking guys are setting me up.
No. It's just a little bit of fun. But yeah, so basically the plot is it's a pretty. I feel actually, if I'm not mistaken, it is somewhat historically accurate, as far as like the meta plot with the king intrigue and to a lesser degree the Templar stuff. And but also but mostly the king intrigue. That's like
so the backdrop is that King Richard the Lionheart is missing. He's in prison. He's in jail in Germany.
In Austria,
yeah. Yeah, and he
was on his way back from the
knights
Third
who followed
Crusade.
him are straggling homeward without a leader, and the Templars and the Hospitaller Knights are allied with.
They have primacy with the Prince John, who was like
because they're allied with
second-born
Philip
son.
of France, and they're like collaborating with Philip of France, and Richard's brother John is planning like a soft coup, and so he's giving away all the baronetcies and whatnot of the lands of the knights who followed the king to these
his friendly
lickspittles.
Yeah,
who are following him. That's another old word that people used to say.
That's a
Isn't
good
it?
one.
I use that one all the time. Israel lickspittle. I like to use. Yeah. But yeah, no, and also to that extent, also they're just scumbag guys like that. The other guy, Debrasi, he's literally just a like knight errant. Like he's just a guy who goes
Yeah.
around fighting for whoever pays him or whatever. And he's gonna
But
be
he
like
but he
he's gonna
had
have a
some
fief.
he had some honor in the, I mean, he didn't he have some
The
he
shit
wouldn't
goes back to chivalry.
Yeah.
yeah, like so he had to respect those rules of chivalry. I guess the social pressure
Yeah,
was so
Debrassi,
great.
out of the three main bad guys, knight characters, Debrassi is the least bad. And he's, because he's not linked to either of the other two are linked to these sort of outwardly pious orders, aren't they? The Hospitallers and the Templars.
Sort of, yeah. But yes, also okay, well that's the backdrop. But basically the plot concerns Wilfred of Ivanhoe, who was given the fiefdom of Ivanhoe, or what, maybe not fiefdom.
Yeah, we've got to do Norman Conquest 101 at this point.
I know that's actually, you're right. That's true.
So in England there were 7 kingdoms, and I'm not sure if it was still 7 kingdoms at the time of the
no, actually, Athelstan had united them. The real
Right.
Athelstan,
right.
he'd become not just king of the Anglo-Saxons. He actually conquered all of England.
Yeah,
And then there was a period in which
United the
it was
heptarchy.
united the 7 kingdoms, right?
right.
And then in what years? 1200?
1200. That's post conquest though.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11
was like
something is when 1150. That's right, is when the Norman conquest
No,
happened.
1066.
Before, yeah, that's at the end of
1066,
it.
okay.
Yeah. So, well, the 1066 when the Battle of Hastings happened. Yeah. So it was King Harold. Well, defeated because they were being attacked by the Danes in the north, and he defeated them at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, which is also near where I live, and had to march all the way down to Hastings to face. So they just defeated the Danes in Stamford Bridge, and they had to.
Right.
I mean, we took the boat up the River Trent this summer, which is like I think the second biggest river in England.
Man, you guys have a lot of rivers.
It rains a lot. and
yeah, but I mean, fresh water like that. I live in
Yeah.
California. Like, you
you don't got that.
undervalue it when it's
Don't
not
rain, do it?
super scarce. Never.
So, and there's on the navigational notes for it, there's a say, oh yeah, King Harold and his army forded the river here. So
Nice.
watch out because it's not all that deep. And on the way to the Battle of Hastings. And as every English schoolboy used to know anyway, Harold got an arrow in his eye. And that was the end of it. And the Normans won.
And eventually,
it was like a 2-tier. This is also part of the setting. Is by 1200 and whatever when this is set, there's no integration between the Saxons and the Normans. There's a very small remnant of Saxon nobility remaining, and Wilfred of Ivanhoe is of that remnant.
Right.
and
but
wasn't
he's-
there? Yeah.
But he's sided with the king and gotten
Yeah.
his lordship through fealty to the Norman king, which puts
Which
him
really
at odds
is-
with his father.
Which really, I mean, I'm sure this is historically accurate, but it's also what what's his name, Scott's ideology was, because he was very, very pro Scotland, but he was also a unionist, and so like you can see there's a direct parallel there from his point of view, is that he's identifying with the Saxons,
Right.
thinking we've got to get along with the English kind of
Right.
thing, and really like the most disappointing part of the book is the conclusion where it's like, well,
Yeah, they all became one people, essentially.
But that was
because what you
kinda
really want
true.
is the Saxons to win and kick the Normans out.
Yeah, but
isn't
I
it?
mean, isn't that true? Even when it kind of started changing hands after, I think there was like a Danish king, Canute or whatever, some Danish king after that, it seems like the Normans were, that was a period of time that ended. But it really, I think it just integrated. Some of the stuff I was reading said like
Yeah.
Old English was totally different. New English is like
Yeah, it's got loads of
influenced
French.
by
That's why we
French.
Got
spell.
lots of Roman
That's why we
stuff in it,
spell
yeah.
tyre Tyre.
is why. Oh,
Because they wanted to
French.
honor the king. They wanted to honor the king of Tyre who helped build this Temple of Solomon.
England,
Hiram.
England,
I don't know that stuff.
English is a bastardized language between Anglo-Saxon and French,
Yeah.
and that's why
Right.
we spell centre Centre
Right.
because it's French.
Also, I wanted to say that also that one of the really interesting things about the setting of this book, or like the backdrop of this book, is like this chivalry thing. It is alien to the Anglo-Saxons this is definitely in the book, by the way. That they like this idea of having these chivalric, tournaments and
Oh,
shit.
chevalier,
Yeah.
like a horseman. Yeah.
Exactly,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was sort of forced on them. And interestingly, by the way, William and I are thinking about doing an episode on this book at some point in the future. But
Who wrote
basically,
it?
the it's Robert Bartlett. But the it's called The Making of Europe, and basically the thesis of it is essentially like all of what we consider historically as medieval society, looking back on it, is like forced on all of Europe by sword point, by originally starting from the Frankish peoples. And again, I don't know that the Normans are Frankish, but at any rate, they would have then become Frankified, which for them to
Definitely, yeah. Because I
go on to
believe that
conquer the Anglo-Saxons.
my schoolboy geography or history or whatever it would have been was said that the Normans originally came from Denmark or Norway, and that they took over Normandy, and that's why they're called Normans, because they're from the north. But I guess
Could just be the north of England,
that's
Europe.
in the sort of Frankish, on the western flank of the Frankish lands.
Yeah.
So they're a bastardized mix of Norse and
Frankish.
French.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do the Marcel style where you have to read 3 books on everything, you might
Yeah.
consider a Christopher Dawson book. He's a Catholic sociologist from the mid 20th century. He wrote Understanding Europe, which was good, and a couple of other
Yeah,
very good. He had hope for Europe, but I think that's
I think that
That's
shit.
I
cute.
think didn't pan out.
Well, we could go back to Saxon times.
You could.
Yeah,
Well, look, like in the book,
in today's terms, that would be considered like a dark age. But I mean, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, in the book, Walter Scott makes it look like the Normans are the scummy ones.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Okay,
Yeah.
but they're bringing chivalry, which he wrote an entry into Britannica about how sincere it was.
Yeah,
but
sure,
he
yeah.
said it got hijacked basically.
But also consider the fact that Norman invasion was financed by bankers who wanted to reinstill usury in England because it was illegal at the time.
Yeah. England was very Christian, and I believe they had their own. The Saxons had their own sort of equivalent to chivalry. They had like tests of physical. They had honor, and they fought in sort of orchestrated things. They just weren't all so
Okay. It
fancy.
wasn't
They just like
formalized
have
with all,
two
like,
guys
the-
who went at each other with sticks.
Right. Yeah, but it became formalized when like the Norman
Yeah.
conquest, where like they have the coats of arms and they got their stupid feathers and shit. Like,
I mean, they had this kind of, I guess, quasi feudal thing.
yeah.
Well, like the Normans get credit for introducing feudalism, I guess, or maybe they just
I
refined
think it's
it.
more like
Or
they refined, they
nationalized.
made it.
Yeah.
Well, they are credited, if you did a little digging around the book, with building the castles
Yeah.
and bringing the Jews in to finance the castles.
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, well, it's that they legalized usury. That's like it's very, very present in the book. Is that prior to this, it wasn't heard of, because I don't remember which king, but at the time they had a system for loans where they would have these tally sticks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, this was like a golden age for England. By the way,
Well,
like,
I mean, but you have to ask, like, was it an improvement to have castles and stuff? Were they tribal?
that's the thing. It was
You know.
forced on them whether they wanted it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wondered, like, I was watching Barbarians, and it was about Teutoburg Forest Battle and Arminius or whatever. And my son, who you met, William,
Yeah.
said, yeah, they were fighting for the freedom to live in shit and eat rancid food, starve to death. Like, what?
Yeah.
what
And do human
they
sacrifices openly.
weren't better off. Like, they won nothing. And of course, it became the Holy Roman Empire anyway. So I don't know what, they thought they won. But like, is that like normative and positive stuff? Like I want to I
Well,
don't know how to judge it.
It's contextual, I think.
I mean, it's a very modern way of looking at life. Like, would it? If we were all part of a one world government, we'd all have PlayStations. It's like what really matters. It's like I participate in a number of schizoid Russian Telegram channels, and there's you get loads of Western European guys emigrating out to Russia now, and it's great, and I'm sure it is great.
I don't know. Do
but
they watch you?
Well,
the reason
not
it's
really.
great
No.
is that they have a culture that is insulated
Exactly.
from that shit.
Exactly, yeah. And my take on it is always, I think it's pretty lame to emigrate to Russia with a load of money and get an attractive wife and then just like live there as an expat.
Screw it up
Like,
and be
I mean, and they'll go, well, yeah, but England's shit. And I says, yeah, I know, but this bit of England is where I'm
I
from.
agree. I wouldn't go on press TV. I was invited. I was like, I don't, I criticize, but I'm not a traitor.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that a bad thing to say? Is that
No,
like a
no.
crazy thing?
I like press TV.
I like it too. I like it too, but I'm sure they were just wanting me to go talk shit. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, I'll talk shit. I want to get I want to get hired by the CCP. I want to do pro-Chinese communist propaganda.
I'm embarrassed that I said that because I'm afraid like it sounds kooky. And
no, it doesn't sound kooky. It's a moral line. But I hate America. I love.
Yeah, but. You got to defend it. It's like you're not supposed to switch parishes. And
I love New England.
You have to
Fuck America. I love New England.
Okay, that's fine. You have to. You do have to stay and fight.
Yeah, I feel I'm
never leaving.
I have no loyalty to the British government whatsoever, under whatever form it may ever be. But what I have got loyalty to is this place.
You're English. Yeah.
Not even so much. It's York, like especially this bit of Yorkshire. I'll never leave it.
Yeah.
Because. What's the point? I'd rather live in a tree and eat owls. I guess it's different if you're a young guy. I guess they've got more of an excuse for, that's a normative sort of behaviour. But I do think it's like, and I'm not advocating participation in political theory, political institutions either.
Activism or whatever.
My only activism is that. My position is I will live in a tree and eat owls before I'll leave this village.
Yeah, I used to say that when I was at Harvard and just could barely like function at all. I was so stressed out. I said, I am, they will have to carry me out on a stretcher, but I'm not quitting. That's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love New England. I'll never leave New England. It's Edenic to me. And, but fuck America.
I hear you, but I just feel like, getting paid by a foreign government to.
I know I'm joking about that, but I do like Chinese people.
Yeah. No, then they have legitimate beef. Yeah, it's all legit. I get that.
I think I'd have a lot less trouble with a Chinese person than, say, a German, though. Finishing.
It's all right. At least they're polite.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like they would taste different, though.
Germans are.
I don't know. I don't have enough experience to generalize on. Plenty of experience with Chinese people. They're fine. They're very neat.
But anyway, let's
don't
get back to
room.
That's true. Yeah.
They do in California, but
oh yeah, I bet. And Toronto. What I was gonna say is so I think it's the plot concerns of Wilfred of Ivanhoe, who've fallen out of his favor with his dad, who is Cedric the Saxon, of what's his castle?
Rotherwood.
Rotherwood, yeah.
She's presumably Rotherham.
I assumed, yeah.
But what's happened to that now?
I know. I didn't even want to talk about it, to be honest.
What am I missing?
That's where the grooming gangs are.
Well, it's where it got exposed. Yeah. They're everywhere.
That's unfortunately. But I was gonna say, but Cedric, by the way, is the name Cedric was invented by misspelling through this book. It was Cerdic. He misspelled Cerdic, and it became a name, Cedric.
Sir Dick. I mean, imagine
Sir Dick. I'm not
imagine Stavros Halkias' reaction to that name.
But yeah, so he is like a Saxon nationalist, if you will. He hates the Normans,
Yeah,
and the fact
I
that his
totally
son,
identify with Cedric.
yeah,
So
he's pretty based, yeah.
the basic the initial conflict is that he's Cedric's friend Athelstane of Conisborough. I don't know what they call it in the book. It's Conis something, isn't it?
Königsberg,
Coningsburg, yeah, but it's Conisborough is what it's called
yeah,
now. And Athelstane of Conisborough is the last man who's got
relations
lineage
as
to
King
the
Harold.
Saxon throne, yeah, king. And his ward, Rowena, is the
Is
fair Rowena,
also
is the
related.
last female who's got royal lineage. So his entire being is all he wants to do is revive the Saxon monarchy by Athelstane marrying Rowena,
Right. But Rowena loves Wilfred of Ivanhoe.
which is Cedric's son.
Yes, but so he forbids them to wed,
He
and
disowns
yeah, disinherits him.
he disowns Ivanhoe altogether. Uh, I mean,
Seems
it's
like a
not
bit of an
made clear whether
overreaction.
that must have happened. I mean, you can't really shit on Ivanhoe for. I mean, that's kind of like a granular little explanation in the plot. Is although it's not explicitly stated, why did because Ivanhoe goes and unites himself with the Norman forces of King Richard. But why does he would he have done that if he could have stayed home and married Rowena?
I don't think I think you're onto something with this. I think that
Yeah,
maybe he wouldn't have.
yeah.
And this was like his way to get what's it called? Able lordship would be to instead of marrying a woman of nobility, another woman of nobility and guaranteeing himself lordship, he ended up, sucking up to the Norman like
I mean, it's
regime.
one of the great truisms in the book is that like the character with the strongest motivation in the whole book is Cedric.
Definitely.
He's absolutely obsessed. He's a monomaniac about restoration of Saxon monarchy, and yet it's futile.
Yeah.
You can't go back, and that's one of the
That's why
again.
Carlisle didn't like this book, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Carlisle was. I mean, I said to you in the chat earlier.
He's a bit of a
Car-
Nietzschean, yeah, or
Carlisle's
proto-Nietzschean.
interesting, but I think he's like you got to say where did Carlisle get his money from? For one thing, it wasn't from selling books.
Yeah, that's
Carlisle
true.
Carlisle didn't even write a book. He got one written for him from his lecture notes, and so he's just like on these junkets getting paid to go around and sort of provide advanced justification for what we're in now, I think.
Yeah, you could take that one way.
I
I
think
think
he's
I,
got a
I
lot
would
of
say he's
points.
got his personal ideology is not that, but yeah, I could see definitely the forces that we always talk about definitely drape themselves in Carlylean ideology to justify their own bullshit,
Yeah,
like a skin
sure.
suit,
I
if
mean, you
you
got
will.
like the village where he was born, Ecclefechan or something. There's a brown sign, tourist sign from the motorway pointing to the house where he was born. It says Carlisle's birthplace. So like
Mhm.
he's as establishment as you can
Celebrated
get.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think
for sure.
nobody's ever heard of him now, but they've still got that sign on the motorway.
The
Yeah,
Walter Scott Memorial
Yeah.
is the biggest memorial dedicated to
an author.
literary, yeah, an author.
Right.
Interesting. Well, it's worth mentioning here is
Where is
that
it? Is it in Edinburgh?
I
I would
believe
think so.
so.
Yeah.
I have a
I think
picture
it
of
is, yeah.
somewhere.
I was worth mentioning here is that this heavily figured in this story is the Knights Templar, of course. However, it's talking about the medieval order of knights within the Catholic Church. But it must be said, though, that the contemporary reader of this book would have a positive association with the name Knight Templar with the Freemasons, because that is an order within Freemasonry that existed for 150 years prior to the authorship of this book. And he himself, Walter Scott, was like a master Freemason of some kind. So yeah, so that's probably why he got the big ass fucking monument, not for nothing, by the way. But I was just gonna say, I was talking to the angels about this, talking to the AI angels about this, but I was asking it if it thought, because I didn't know that he was a master Freemason until this conversation with it. I was wondering that maybe so what happens in the plot, I don't want to jump around too much, but towards the end of the book, there's kind of like a soft coup on the behalf of the Knights Templar to side with Prince John to take over the government of England, or the monarchy of England, and sort of influenced by the Knights Templar. I was wondering if maybe like Scott is going like, oh, he's sort of revelation of the methoding, or or making a political satirical comment on the idea that Freemasons at least were trying to take power in this era and use soft power to direct geopolitical, geopolitical policy or whatever. But yeah, so that's when I found out he was a Freemason. So again, maybe it's like sort of like, hey, this is like just like, this is what we're doing kind of thing, perhaps. I don't know. It was foiled in the book, obviously. But I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting line of
Well,
theory.
I think the thing with these, like, Freemasons can have their own ideas.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't necessarily.
It's just an organizational technique. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why would somebody in his position not be a Freemason? Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
At that
Yeah,
time.
of course. But yeah, I just think it's like I guess what I ended up on is like, it's like a bit of contemporary political commentary, I guess. You know what I mean? But not like, he's not going like, this is your esoteric lore drop, symbolism, man. There's not like hits bong, none of that going on. But it's a bit of like something that like a contemporary reader could be like, that's an interesting thought
He had published
experiment.
it anonymously, right? His stuff was all anonymous until close to his
Carlyle?
death. Oh, sorry. No, are we talking
Scott.
about Carlyle?
Scott, sorry,
Scott.
Scott.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I
it was,
didn't know
it was
that.
anonymous.
Yeah, it says he published everything basically anonymously and put his name on it in 1827 when he was
Right.
56. He died
Yeah.
not too long after that.
He started
And,
writing when he was like 16, didn't he, or something? He was
Yeah, he went to
prodigy.
university when he was 12, which I
Yeah.
imagine was like had to have been a thing.
Not
But I
common,
just the
though.
anonymous. Say it again.
He was a brain box. He was
Yeah.
he was a very highly educated
Yeah.
antiquarian as a child.
So his name, he's the ninth child, and his name is Walter, like his father. And I'm thinking, I'm the ninth child. Like, you don't get your father's name unless
Yeah.
the
He's the
other ones
scion
are,
of the family.
unless the other ones are all dead. And I looked, and so they recycled the names. Like,
Right.
so I don't know what his other siblings' names were, but the first 6 of the 8 above him died.
Right.
So he was sick, and they sent him to wherever out in the country to kind of recover. He had polio. I was going to ask you guys, like,
Yeah, my eldest brother had
Polio?
polio.
really? And how did
Yeah.
he fare?
He was all right. He just had like a bit of a wonky
limp?
smile.
Yeah. And
No, he didn't have a limp.
is it, it's not always viral, but is it ever viral?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about that.
He was never
It's a- you know,
vaccinated
it's a
for it.
big
He just had
thing.
it.
It's a big conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't the theory that it's like actually like phosphorus or some shit, like or
It's-
DDT or something?
I think a lot of things will cause that, what it is. So, and you
Mhm.
have, it's like Guillain-Barré looks like polio, and it comes from the flu
Right.
vaccine. Kawasaki
Or
disease.
African AIDS is not real. They just do a
Yeah.
checkbox of what symptoms you have, and they go, "Yeah, you have AIDS. Now give us funding for this
Yeah.
amount of people."
Yes. And it was definitely pesticides or herbicides or something that
I don't
is
know enough about it.
highly linked, like your DDT or whatever, highly linked to polio outbreaks. But that's not for sure to say it's not a virus.
Bring back DDT, bro. I hate these
Oh,
bugs.
totally. Yeah. Yeah. You know why I think they got rid of it by using the book Silent Spring about how it like makes eggshells so thin that birds can't hatch. And I thought, you know what? It probably just kills all the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And then the birds have nothing to eat, so they
Oh,
just go
yeah.
somewhere else. And I want them to kill the mosquitoes. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, mosquitoes stink.
I hate mosquitoes.
Anyway, so so we get our best characters, which are the lowest ranking in the story's characters, which is Girth the swineherd, Girth son of Beowulf the swineherd, and Wamba the jester. And the best thing about Wamba is that, like, first of all, him being a fool, he's a jester, allows him to say things that no other character can. Period. Even within like the higher people, they would never dare to say some shit.
No, they'd end up in a fight, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So he's by that definition the funniest character.
Yeah.
And he's fucking with people all the time
the
and
time,
not
yeah.
getting his head chopped off.
Yeah. And but also in doing so, he is sort of like channels this like truth that you can't find within the rigid social structures of the rest of the characters, and like he can call bullshit on stuff that no one else can, and in doing so he kind of serves as the author's voice a lot for that, to that end, which is fun. So we at the beginning of the book, these Girth and Wamba direct Brian de Bois Gilbert, and what's the other the prior's name? No, the
Prior Aimer.
Prior Aimer, right? Yeah, who is a Norman prior of, was he York Minster?
No, it's not. Is it Gervaux?
Gervaux, yeah. Which is it's like a misspelling of a real place, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's Jervaulx is the real place. Gervaux.
Okay, yeah.
We used to go to Gervaux. It was where I went to boarding school was about 20 minutes drive from Gervaux Abbey, and we used to go and visit the ruins.
Nice.
With the
math
teacher.
That's right. I was looking into that, and it is like it's like a heritage site where you can go check it out.
Yeah, Gervaux, Rivaux. That was another one we used to go to that's nearby.
But anyway, so Brian de Bois Gilbert is the Templar, and he has sort of a history with King Richard and Ivanhoe, if I'm not mistaken. But in their origin story, previous to the story, their time in Palestine during the Crusades.
Yeah, they had a beef there, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe Ivanhoe kicked his ass then and again, and he continues to do so throughout the story.
Yeah.
But what's it called? But Brian de Bois Gilbert. I also love this. This is another thing I wanted to comment. Is the names of the people in the story. Brian de Bois Gilbert means of Gilbert Woods, and I think that he's like this, the character is like driven by emotion and wild emotion, and it's supposed to be like he's from the woods, like, you know what I mean? He's a crazy person. He's driven by his desire. He's completely a slave to his desire, essentially. And like he puts up this front of being proud and like adhering to the letter of chivalric, expectations, but behind closed doors, all he's doing is lusting after women and wanting power and shit like that. And I just think that's what's the word? Contradiction within him. It makes for a very interesting character.
Yeah. And the other night, Front de
Boeuf. Yeah, he's head of an ox, head of a cow, steer, and he's a strong-headed, evil monster.
Oh,
really,
yeah, he's a bad guy.
He's a real jerk. To quote another sage mind.
He would definitely be played by Newman if it was a Seinfeld episode.
Yep. Well, that's the bit we and William were alluding to earlier. We were discussing what if this was a Seinfeld episode, who would be who. And
then, of course, you got the other subset of characters, which is Isaac of York, the Jew.
Yep.
And his beautiful daughter Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca is like the most
AKA Elaine Bennis.
yeah, she's the most moral character in the novel.
Yeah.
But Isaac is appropriately stereotypical, I think. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's a few moments in his story where he's like, save my daughter or
Yeah.
pay a lot of money. Like,
My ducats, my daughter, my ducats, my daughter.
yeah. But that's funny because like takes an opportunity to sort of subvert the expectations of the audience, I think, because first of all, you do get the Isaac of York Jewish character where he is like he's a stereotypical Jewish character.
He's
in
the
every
merchant of
sense
Venice
the term.
thing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Who
But then
cares
you have,
about his daughter?
Yeah.
True, but but regardless, the Rebecca character, is like she serves as like a scapegoat throughout she's like it's in the Gerardian
Definitely.
cosmology here.
Yeah, they're gonna burn her as a witch. Like, yeah.
They burn her as a witch in order to cast out the scandal of Brienne de Bois Gilbert being
Raping her, kidnapping her. He didn't rape her, did he?
but
No,
not
he
even
didn't rape her,
even
no.
still he tried to, but because she was going to jump off the
Totally.
parapet.
Good for
Otherwise
her.
he couldn't. Yeah. But the point is that she the audience, the contemporary audience who read the book would probably were a little bit subverted by that ending where the Jewess is like this innocent fairly moral character who is there's is like sort of the MacGuffin almost in the story where it's like, oh no, the worst thing that can happen is she's unruly. The bad guy, Brienne de Bois Gilbert, will get away with his crimes, and she will suffer his basically suffer for his misdeeds. Like the scandal is that he's broken his vow to the Templars of chastity and wanting to be with her, and instead they put all of his guilt onto her. And they hope that if she's gone, she's burned away, and it's written in the journals and in the the histories that a witch was rightfully burned for her sorcery or whatever.
Yeah.
They can all put this behind themselves, so it really does fit within the Gerardian framework. Where if that had happened, future generations would look back at this and go, "Well, everything worked out."
Yeah.
But I felt like, so if you read, what to expect from Ivanhoe or critical analysis or whatever, a lot of stuff will say it's anti-Semitic. They don't like it because it's anti-Semitic. And it sounded like that in the beginning because they present the Isaac character. Yeah, he's very stereotypical and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like what they did with Rebecca was, okay, they show the Isaac character, which is what the world sees and, what people think of Jews, but she gets to tell you what's really going on, like all the tradition that's behind it, all the politics that are behind it, the oppression, the morality that you don't understand because it's different from yours, but it's not spiritual. So I thought it was highly redemptive, like almost an apologia. Like,
oh, it's definitely an apologia.
For sure, yeah. But I would hasten to say that it accurately to history depicts Jews in this period as sort of being scapegoats for the massive social change that the Normans were forcing onto the Saxons. You know what I mean?
yeah, what was the York massacre thingy? I'm sure William knows about it. It was right around that time.
When you were in York, did you see a like a castle thing on top of a hill, on top of a mound? It's called Clifford's Tower.
Not really. I walked on that wall the entire way around.
Yeah, well, it's supposedly.
That's where it happened.
It's down near the river.
So all the Jews were locked in there, and they burned it down, right?
Well, yeah. Well, it's still standing, but yeah, they supposedly burnt them all in there. Yeah.
So
I think that was like
before.
it's what they do the same thing now. They call it cancelling third world debt now.
Yeah.
Some debts got cancelled.
Some debts got canceled, and they had to like dispose of the credit.
Yeah. I mean that was. It could be either way. Like they used them, they brought them in there to use them, and then they didn't want to pay them back. But then,
well, I mean, brought them in. Yeah, the Normans brought them. The Normans
brought them, right? Is that not true?
That's right.
But then, I'm not sure. So I was reading like the Jerusalem Post about about that era, and it says the thing which I think you guys say is maybe misrepresented, that the Jews weren't allowed to own farmland, and
That's a popular
Well,
myth. I
nobody
don't
was
know
allowed
that
to
that's
own farmland
Yeah,
except
that's-
Okay.
except the
yeah.
nobility.
they could
Yeah.
not farm, as they were not allowed to own land in the countryside. But yeah, nobody. Yeah, I was thinking that. Like,
Yeah, nobody owned
everybody was
land.
serfs anyway. They just wouldn't
Yeah.
farm because
Yeah.
they
had to-
didn't have to.
Yeah, they had to farm.
Oh
because-
God, it's so
uh,
terrible. You forced me to lend money to you. Like it's a funny thing to think about, but
Yes.
that's like the going myth. And like, listen,
Right.
I'm sorry, you've decided to deny Christ, who says that usury is bad. Like you made the decision to say I don't.
Well, the argument I read was that it says to your brother, so they can't do it to each other, but they can do it
Yeah.
to outsiders. And the in-group, out-group thing is what I think Christ came to resolve in part. That's
Sure,
my
yeah.
own personal thing. But
He also came to say don't charge anybody interest, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
know. There is no, and then the counter argument is yes, but Christians think everyone's their brother, so that's the difference, and it is that's a real difference. Like that's in my opinion. And then I was reading about the stuff where, as places got Christianized, they became very vulnerable to places like the Danes and had to adopt some method of being able to be militaristic without being immoral or something. Anyway, this all happened around
Yeah.
that time.
Well, that's also where, like, I think St. Francis, I believe, is the one who came up with the idea of just war. Is the idea that, like, oh,
No.
if someone's attacking, no, maybe not St. Francis. No,
Salamanca,
or maybe it's St. Thomas of Aquinas, if I'm thinking
I think it's
about
Thomas of
It-
Aquinas.
Is it
isn't
Thomas
it's
Aquinas?
definitely
Yeah.
the just war theory, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
just
Francis.
Yeah, it is Thomas of Aquinas, I think. But regardless, whichever saint who said that, the idea is like, oh, if someone comes to kill you, you can fight them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there
did
there's
have
like
to be
4 or
that
5. It has
development
to-
within the
yeah.
church.
It can't be hopeless.
Yeah.
Like, so it can't be disproportionate. So the thing in Gaza, even if October 7th wasn't a false flag or lie hop or whatever, you can't kill like 1,000 times or whatever
Yeah.
more people. Like you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah. It
You
has.
kill the
so
people
there's-
who are trying to do it at the moment, but you
Yeah,
get it under
or
control, you have to stop killing people.
you can't even defend yourself if it's hopeless in the just
Right.
war thing. You can't throw your entire civilization to suicide like the Japanese were going to do.
Samson
if they
option.
I don't
deposed
believe
the
that. That's
emperor.
bullshit. That's propaganda. The Japanese were never gonna teach the fucking kids to pick up rifles. That's bullshit.
Well, I thought they weren't going to surrender if their emperor, who was a divinity, was not
In that
respected.
Chinese book I just read, they said that the Japanese were going to fucking surrender already, and then Truman was like, "Quick, drop the bomb before anyone finds out."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We
It's
gotta
Saint
use this
Augustine, by
bomb.
the way. It's Saint Augustine.
Okay, that's where you can see why I thought it was.
Yeah, Saint Thomas
yeah.
Aquinas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah,
I didn't
no,
know that
definitely,
about. So they were going to give up the emperor.
Of course, yeah. They didn't want to be destroyed. They didn't want
Well,
to.
but if
they're
it's a
having, they're being
god-
firebombed. They're being firebombed. All the civilians were getting.
I understand.
100,000
Wasn't it,
civilians.
What do you
wasn't it
think
St.
martyrs
Augustine
are?
who converted the English in the first place?
Saint Augustine was the mulatto from like the 300s or whatever.
I was
we
gonna say
just-
in
we
Italy.
just-
Yeah, Saint
but-
Augustine was born in 354. He was the Bishop of Hippo.
Who was the
he's
first
the guy
Archbishop
with
of Canterbury?
the Confessions. Like he was the guy who was bad, and then
Wasn't the guy who was Friar
Monica's
Tuck?
son. Monica's son.
Friar Tuck's personal saint. He's the guy who converted the English. I thought.
Saint.
I forget his name now.
We just did it.
Well, I know
Module
Patrick
versions.
was the
Cockman
Irish.
Hurst. What the fuck was his name?
Well, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna talk to
in
the angels. Hold on
Ivanhoe.
a second.
Right. So,
Saint Augustine.
yeah.
How's that fucking possible?
Well,
Maybe there's multiple.
he was
I mean,
sent,
they do have the names.
Pope
They use
Gregory
the
sent
names.
him to England, and
Yeah,
he
but
became
he
the
was
first
dead
Archbishop of
by
Canterbury.
then. That's not makes no.
No, it was
sense.
it was
Oh,
when
it's
the
Saint
Romans were still
Augustine
in.
of Canterbury,
Right.
There we go. Okay, that makes
not
sense.
of Hippo. The
Right.
original Saint
That's why there's
Augustine.
right. Okay. But I mean, that was in
Good for you.
the 600s.
Yeah, 597. Good for you.
Well, I'm teaching a module on of Christian history in the Middle Ages.
Wow. Good one. So is that why we're here?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see that
But
old
look,
castle.
so I met Monica in real life this summer, and we went round York Minster. And this was I always bore people about because we've got a Norman church in the town near us, and I would say, oh yeah, Normans came over and built all the churches. I gave them credit for that, but then I knew that York Minster had been like sinking into the ground, and they'd had to underpin it. And we went round the exhibit on that, and like the reason for that is they built it on top of the original Saxon minster that was already there.
Bastards.
So like England was extremely Christian before the Normans got here, and I
Right.
take back all the times I gave him credit for it.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you something funny. So my son was with me when we met William, and we agreed that William is the best looking person in England.
Tall order, by the way.
Yeah, it's the water on the end of the nose is the icing on the cake, isn't it?
I know that you're not going to argue with that, even out of
I'll take that.
The least
of
roast
modesty.
beefy of the roast beef.
It's so funny.
Hey, roast beef is lovely.
It is, yeah. But don't the French call English roast beef?
Yeah, they call us le roast beef because we go pink in the sun.
Yeah.
It was bad.
But anyway, so yeah, let's get some more themes here.
It's also like this area, Yorkshire. So it's like because the Saxons who came over from what's now Bavaria, I think, were sheep farmers, and they were the first people to inhabit the hill country in Yorkshire, and so we share a lot of culture with them, including especially in terms of agriculture. There was a guy in the 60s who went over. He was a young farmer from the Yorkshire Dales, went over to Germany. He was a sheep farmer, and he went on an young farmers club exchange trip to go and live and work on a sheep farm I'm not sure if it's Bavaria, somewhere in Germany, and where it's a similar landscape, and all the sort of jargon words for different, 2-year-old sheep or an old female.
They had the same root between
so
each other.
No, they're literally the same words.
Nice. Etymologically identical.
Yeah.
When did they come over?
I don't know. It was after the Romans. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the Saxons came in and filled the vacuum, basically. But of course, they didn't push everybody out, so that's why he ended up with these 7 kingdoms.
Right. And then, Athelstan, the ironically named Athelstan. Athelstan, I loved Athelstan in the book because he had an endless hunger for food, but zero hunger for power.
Yeah.
He was a walking contradiction.
And he gave up the
guy.
woman.
Yeah.
He was
He had
like,
no
"I'm gonna
hunger for
pass
that
on
either.
her. Where's my food?"
Yeah, he didn't care about
He wanted dinner, bro. He wanted dinner.
Food.
I mean,
Booze,
that made me laugh the most. Like,
I think that's a great comment on English guys, by the way, is that Athelstan, he's like he's literally the most high-born guy of all the Anglo-Saxons. And what is his primary concern? Food and drink. Yeah. He's a real hobbit.
Yeah, I identified strongly with Athelstan.
Yeah, I like him too. Yeah. Which, by the way, we said Putty would play him.
Who?
David Putty.
from
In the
Seinfeld.
episode, the Seinfeld episode.
Who's David Putty?
David.
The beefy.
Elaine.
Oh yeah, Patrick
Yeah.
Warburton. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Can we get some dinner up in here?
Yeah. Hey, I'm back from Elaine. Elaine, I'm back from the dead.
Could I get some dinner, please?
I'm back from the dead. I'm starving.
That's what he said.
He doesn't even want. He ends up being talked out of getting vengeance too, doesn't he? Or no, did they kill him? I feel like it was
He
justified
didn't
if they
die.
did.
He died.
I mean, I'm
and
saying,
then
did
came
he
back.
just did he tell the did he tell?
Oh, he
them-
was gonna have vengeance on the monks, wasn't he? But then
that's what I meant, yeah.
he had a big dinner and got drunk and forgot about it.
Oh, that's what I thought happened. Yes. Actually, you know what? Never mind.
Well, that's the one way to make an English guy mad. Don't let
Yeah,
him
take
have
away
any-
dinner. Yeah. That rules.
That was his.
But yeah.
That was his main. So, okay, quickly. Act 1. They're in this. There's a pageant, and all the characters come together at it. Well, most of them come together beforehand at Rotherwood.
Rotherwood, yeah.
But then Ivanhoe is incognito,
Yeah.
and so
He's pretending to be just a simple palmer, which is a
Yeah.
guy who came back from Palestine as a pilgrim.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Palm trees.
Yeah. Palms.
I mean that's just a possible plot hole that perhaps his father would have recognized him.
I thought that too, but I took
But
it
you're
to be
allowed
like
to
a
do that,
literary
yeah.
flair.
Yeah, that's
you
like
know,
Shakespeare does that kind of
Well,
stuff.
plus they're all. This is what I love about this sort of Saxon feudal aesthetic, is that they have to wait for everyone to arrive home before dinner.
Yeah, before they have dinner, yeah.
Even the swineherd and the jester have to be there, or they can't start eating dinner. And they all eat dinner in this sort of run-down, leaky hall, this great hall. And anyone who's passing is invited to dinner, even if they're a Jew.
Yeah.
Right?
But he has to sit at the other side of the table.
Yeah.
We
he
had
has
to sit with Wamba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Wombat gets to sit with the dogs.
Oh,
The Jew has to go and sit by the fireplace and eat. It's like a TV
that
dinner.
sounds like a good place to sit.
Yeah.
But they must have had so much food all the time ready.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I guess
You get
because
the spoils of the entire barony or whatever.
and they must have had so many workers, like so many people to feed that was really all they did was grow food and make food and eat food.
It's
That's
like
all they
literally
did.
what we fantasize about
Yeah.
our lifestyle being.
Literally.
Totally. As an aside, my son is in Georgia, the country, and he said it's super poor. It's the most Christian place on earth, by the way. And he said they're very like, I'm not gonna say like they're lazy, but he's like they don't do a lot. But he said it's the best food he's ever had in his life. He's been there for a while. He's not getting sick of the food. They basically invented winemaking, so they have really good wine. And I'm thinking, if you have great food and good wine, why would you do anything at all except for what you needed to make that happen? I'm like, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm
And
now
he-
100% sure he's a CIA asset.
Well, he said that his school had a
Recruiter.
somebody, yep, and they said you got this place is next.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
if I should say that.
it's been
No,
next
that's
for
been
ages.
coming for a while, I think.
It's
not
happened
for nothing,
twice
yeah.
already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's a hot take, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, but I just wonder if that's kind of doxy to say like this person was in this actual place
fuck that.
saying this. Okay,
Yeah.
No, that's coming. Don't worry. That's good.
I
Don't
just
worry. There'll be a
worry.
George
I
Soros
worry.
color revolution there any minute.
yeah, there. Well, they certainly
Another, I
have,
should say.
you know, like youth movements that are being influenced by
It's
know
everywhere.
outside money and
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah, heard of
tragic.
Nick Fuentes?
Oh my gosh, I can't listen to that stuff. It's just so much noise, you know? Like Nick Fuentes on Tucker Carlson. I'm like, I don't care what they're saying. Like,
No.
I guess
bullshit.
it's coming, but
Well,
it's just
Tucker, this is why it's actually cool to have sex with guys who wear women's clothing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Muslims don't do it.
yeah, Muslims don't do it.
So
and
it's
then
cool.
and then Tucker's like, wow. So they're saying that it's actually cool to have sex with chicks with dicks. What is going on?
what? Yeah, is that a real reference?
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, but whatever. I don't want to get fucking e-drama. That's not what this show's about.
E-drama E? What?
Yeah, it's e-drama. I'm not getting into e-drama now, but the kid's
Yeah.
gay. Like, I mean, look at him.
I don't know. I don't watch that stuff. I don't get. It's just a distraction. Do you agree that it's just a distraction or not?
No, it's I'll tell you what it is. It's the point of him is to make people associate criticism of Jews in Israel with a little gay kid and have people be like, ugh, I don't want to be like that little gay kid who's always talking about Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That weird
okay.
gay kid.
Yeah.
Which, optics, what's it called? Ridicule is the best way to get people to not want to be with something.
100%.
You know?
Anyway, back to the plot.
Yes, please.
All these travellers that are eating at Rotherwood, which is Cedric's gaff, are on their way to the pageant at Ashby de la Zouche, which is south.
Yep. And it still stands today, right?
Ashby's today, right? Ashby's a town, yeah.
Well, I mean, the castle, though, it still exists, right?
I don't know. I've never, you know what it's like when you live in a place.
True.
And so they go there, but Ivanhoe goes there by a circuitous route. He goes to. It's still not revealed. He
saves the Jew. He saves the Jew from being captured by Brian de Bois Gilbert.
And he goes and he gets Girth to come with him as well. And they go
as a squire.
He escorts the Jew to Sheffield in safety because all those bad Norman knights who were there after him
to make plastics.
Yeah, and he arranges that. Isaac arranges credit for Ivanhoe so that he can have some armor and a horse.
Yeah.
To go to the
fight in the
with.
tournament. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So then the main set piece of the first act is the tournament at Ashby, which, long story short, Ivanhoe wins. But there's this other knight there who saves his life.
The Black Sluggard.
The Black Sluggard. Come on, man.
Redundant, I know.
Who doesn't really take part much apart from to save Ivanhoe. And then he disappears off without claiming his prize. So Ivanhoe,
in fact, Prince John goes, "Oh, I want him to be the winner because he hates Ivanhoe, or he's pissed at Ivanhoe because Ivanhoe won't show his face." But the Black Knight slips away undetected, and ends up with the niggard hermit overnight.
Yes. So yeah, but the funny bit of the most entertaining bit of the pageant, which I find a bit boring, that part of the book, but the funniest bit about it is Isaac kvetching about how the horse is going to get damaged and he's still owed money on it.
Yep.
And then Girth goes off to Isaac's lodgings in Ashby de la Zouche to pay back because the Ivanhoe's money. Now minted. He's got loads of money. He's got the spoils of beating all these other knights, and so he goes to pay. This is on the night between the 2 days, actually, isn't it? Of the thing, he goes to pay off his debts. But he sends Girth to do it because he's got Girth is secretly also incognito as Ivanhoe's page, and he goes and pays. And Rebecca gives him all his money back without her dad knowing, which I think is a very important part, as you're saying, Monica, of the redemption about her being because she's got great gratitude for the fact that Ivanhoe saved her father's life, even though he doesn't.
He just wants more money. Yeah. In fact, he almost gives a tip to Girth and then goes, nah. That's rules. I love that part.
Yeah, it is great. Yeah. And so, and then you basically then start bringing Robin Hood characters into it, but then it's not made clear that they are until later on.
Until the very end. Yeah. But Robin of Locksley shows up.
Wearing green tights.
Yeah. And
I did love the descriptions of the outfits and how they distinguished from the Normans.
Period accurate, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It was very
actually, the archery competition in the pageant was fun. That's a fun read.
That was fun. Yeah, that's Robin Hood. That's the Robin Hood segment. Robin of Locksley.
Those guys are the best.
So I would imagine that like the whole Robin Hood myth comes from this book.
It does. The one that we recognize today. The one that we recognize today.
Okay.
Because the myth was already there.
I looked into this quite a bit, actually. And prior to this book, there was alternate versions of Robin Hood where he was a bad guy. Because after all, he was an outlaw. I mean, it's like... But the idea of him being like a guy who's noble and likes King Richard and hates Prince John...
He's also extremely moral. His whole guy...
Yeah.
So on his way back with all this money... On his way back to Ivanhoe, Girth gets mugged by Robin Hood's gang. That's where you first see them. And when they find out he's a Saxon,
And then
they
he
let
wants
him
to buy
go
his freedom.
and give him his
too.
money. Yeah, it's a Saxon who wants to buy his freedom. They give him his money back and let him go.
So am I right to interpret what they were saying, that basically the Normans just said we own everything and you can't hunt here anymore, and
Yeah.
then because of that they just ignored that because it's not
Yeah,
right,
because
and
you've got to hunt. Yeah,
makes him an outlaw
and so
just
the
because
outlaw, an outlaw means that
outside the
it's
law.
on site. They're not protected by the law. So if you
Yeah.
see him, you can kill him.
Just kill him.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did not know that.
that's what that means. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's kind
We
of
should still have that designation, and just you could just stop paying your taxes and be an outlaw and be like,
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
great.
Randy Weaver tried that.
Not funny. I
Yeah.
cannot laugh at anything about those people.
I'm just saying. This is what happened. To him.
I hear you, but I just
Yeah.
like I hear his name and I just see Vicky with the like hole in her head.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
That
yeah,
made me
so
so angry when I found out about that.
Oh my
Yeah, same.
gosh! And like you should read about that sniper. There, one of the
Yeah,
Ken
arguments.
Lon Horiuchi.
No, sorry,
fuck
it's
yeah.
pronounced Ron Holiucci.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
What funny. One of the arguments was that Bill Barr used to defend him was that he's Catholic. I was like, I know, I can't even. He would never have done that if it weren't totally justified.
Yeah.
I can't think about that.
But yeah, so the first act sort of culminates in again the winning of the tournament by Ivanhoe, but he is not mortally wounded, but wounded in this fight, and he is taken under the care of Rebecca again for cementing her as a moral agent within the story. But she uses one of the mysterious, spooky remedies from Miriam, the Jewess witch.
Yeah.
But it probably, I'm guessing it's probably just like a intelligent utilization of herbs and
Yeah,
salves
drugs.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
Yeah.
Science is just magic is just science that's
It's
not
mystified.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So he is over time he's nursed back to health, but during transit, the whole party of people, including Cedric, Athelstane, Girth and Wamba, although Girth runs off actually because he's decided because Cedric says suck my dick, you can't be free. He goes, well, fuck this, I'm gonna become an outlaw then, and leaves. And Wamba's there, and also they take up Isaac, and they agree to escort Isaac and Rebecca, and unknowingly Ivanhoe, to York, if I'm not mistaken. In doing so, but while that happens, Maurice de Bracy and Reginald Front de Boeuf, the allies of Prince John, the evil Prince John.
Oh no, they're going to York. It's the good guys party is just on its way back to Rotherwood.
I know, but they agreed to help them on the way, escort them. So my point being is that they're all grouped together at this point.
Yeah, sure.
For the being attacked by Maurice de Bracy and Reginald Front de Boeuf. They're dressed as outlaws, by the way, as Saxon outlaws. They did a bit of a gay op, as it were. But Wamba and Girth managed to escape.
Yeah,
and they
because Girth's a prisoner at that point.
Yes. They managed to escape, and they meet up with Robin of Locksley, who helps. He helps organize a response to them being captured, taken away to Front de Boeuf's castle, which was given to him, stolen from his father.
Athelstane's complaining about the food having too much garlic in it.
Too much garlic in it. Yeah, I guess it's too French. But what's it called? No, his father, as a Norman invader, killed this is Torquilstone Castle, by the way, and the former inhabitants was a Saxon lord who was conquered by Norman invaders, Front de Boeuf's father, they killed everybody in the entire family.
Oh yeah, there's another great female character in this, isn't there?
Yeah, well,
Ulrika.
Yeah, the daughter of the original lord becomes like the paramour of the married elder of Fronteboeuf, and and takes part in much evil, I'm guessing, because she feels guilty to the point where she ends up helping break the siege at the end of the second act.
Yeah.
Very poetic ending for her. I believe she dies engulfed in flames.
Sets the castle on fire, and
Yeah.
it consumes her and DeBuff.
Yeah, her rage is exemplified.
Yes, beautiful.
It's
this
embodied by an
and
actual
he burns
flame.
in hell.
Yeah.
The Black Sluggard reappears at this point, and he helps with he becomes the sort of captain of the siege, so that like Robin of Locksley and his forces lay a siege to the castle, and then the Black Sluggard shows up, and
who turns out to be, by the way,
King Richard III.
Yes.
Oh, King Richard the Lionheart. I think it's the third.
Yeah, Coeur de Lion.
Coeur de Lion. He shows up, and long story short, they defeat the castle forces.
Yeah. By the way, I do want to say this.
Meanwhile,
read the fucking book. Don't take our summary of it as being like, all right, I know what happens in Ivanhoe now.
Isaac of York is in the cellar being torn to pieces with red hot pincers,
right?
Or under threat of that if he doesn't give him all his money.
I think the actual aim of that was for him to give a concession to Brienne de Bois Guilbert to marry his daughter, not so much that he even gave a shit about his money, but he came to him under the guise of, I'm going to take all your money, and then go, oh, well, there is something else that I would take instead of the money, kind of thing. Because he wants to get that strange...
Well, that's why I say you got to cast Julia Louis Dreyfus in that one.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
That's all you, bro. I'm not into that. I'm not into Dreyfusard box. She's got to be related. She's got to be related to.
She's related to him.
To Dreyfus, the Captain Dreyfus. I would imagine.
She's like a cousin of his.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah. Is Richard Dreyfus also?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I would have to be, right? Yeah.
What else could explain it?
They're a banking family, aren't they?
They are now, yes. Julia Louis Dreyfus's father is like a billionaire banker, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
she
for
was
nothing.
fortunate enough to get on in Hollywood.
I know, so crazy, huh? Yeah, damn. I found out some shit recently about someone who's connected to David Lynch, like one of David Lynch's like female stars, who is like related to like several people from the JFK assassination, and I'm like, literally, she dated Kerry Thornley briefly. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, how does this keep happening? You got Harry Connick Sr., you got Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, and now you got this lady dating.
What's Matthew McConaughey? I know Woody Harrelson. I always say McConaughey is going to be the governor of Texas, which probably is obvious. But what's his backstory? Why is
his dad is another famous bank robber or something, like, who is like has some association with the mob, like, you know what I mean, and was there that day and stuff.
Oh, so Woody Harrelson's father took the fall. He's a good boy, and then his son gets to be a movie star. Is that the idea?
Well, I don't think he's actually
a good actor, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. Acting is
not that hard.
It's just lying.
I'm kind of a good actor, actually.
I was gonna say I could probably do it. I'd never do it. Then I'd be like, oh, she was acting. It's like whatever.
But yeah, no, it's just crazy is how many connections to Hollywood. The Harry Connick Sr. thing too, by the way. Harry Connick Sr. covered up that pedophile ring out of the Boy Scout camp in Louisiana, which was connected to North Fox Island and like the Odyssey Foundation and John Wayne Gacy and shit. Like,
I think Nicole Kidman's father's accused of being the psychiatrist.
Nicole Kidman's dad is basically the fucking Australian Jeffrey Epstein, essentially.
And he failed he was supposed to keep the kids quiet. He was a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Right.
And he failed to do so and like died on White Balloon Day or whatever under mysterious circumstances.
Yep. Yeah. Or I should say he's more like the Australian Robert Maxwell.
Yes, something a little more like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that. I'm sorry to get sidetracked here, but that was just really interesting to me that like all these people, like all
Yeah,
media is fake.
yeah, we're running out of time, so we need to quickly
Yes, we
blast
are.
through the third act here.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, like the third act is a witch trial. So at the conclusion of the second act, as the castle's burning down, um,
Bri-
Bois Gilbert
Kidnaps Rebecca
Rebecca,
because he wants her
and Athelstane is thought to have been killed
in defense of her.
in defense of her, and because once he gets going, he's a good
For he was lazy, not
He couldn't be
not
bothered to put a helmet on, could he?
cowardly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but then the book points out that he was valiant, but he was lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't be bothered to put his hat on. That's why he got hit on the head
Got a
with
clonk on the head. Yes, that's why he passed out and was able to be kidnapped and not fed dinner for 3 days.
which really pissed him off.
Yeah. And so they she gets taken to York, I believe it is, to the
Templar headquarters.
Yeah, where obviously she's not allowed.
Right.
But like
No women are.
it's already established by this point in the book that the Templars are absolutely corrupt, and the sort of their vows of poverty and chastity and all that are just a pose, and they're anything but that. And Bois Gilbert is the worst of the lot, and so he's so bad he's got this Jewish kidnap victim in his quarters that he's hiding from the authorities. Anyway, the authorities get to hear about it, and they decide that they don't want to punish Bois Gilbert, and the only
Because
way
he's
they
supposed
can,
to be the next Grand Master, essentially, and he's
Yeah.
presented a scandal to them, which they now need to cast out.
yeah, and so they do it by saying, well, she must be a witch,
She
and she's
bewitched
the
him
only
into wanting to do
explanation.
that.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's good. It's smart.
yeah, and so they have a trial for her, and there's one guy who she's cured goes and gives witness, and he doesn't realize, obviously he's not privy to, he's just a peasant,
Yeah.
and he feels terrible because he thinks what he said has actually made it worse for her, because he told them he cured her, so she must be a witch. Right?
Yeah.
So they're taking it.
She's
Similar
a
to
witch.
that,
Yeah.
she's get a duck
she
and
killed
weigh
him,
her.
yeah. And he agrees to be a messenger because she's got no friends. Bois Gilbert palms her a note saying,
I'll see you tonight, baby.
Ask for a challenger.
Ask for a challenger, and we'll settle it by you let God decide. And he
Intends that he's going to fight on her
he's
behalf
gonna-
because he
yeah,
does love her.
Yeah, he intends to be the challenger on her behalf, but he gets his fireworks pissed on by the authorities nominating him to fight on the side of the authorities.
Again, clever.
Right, yeah. And so she gets this guy who's borne witness unwittingly against her to take a message to her
Ivanhoe.
father.
Or yes, to him, and then he contacts Ivanhoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be my savior once again.
Be my savior once again. And he shows up, and before the thing can even get underway properly, Bois Gilbert has a stroke and drops down dead on the port.
Oh, I kept
Yeah.
being like, how does he just die? But yeah, that's true.
I think it's like it's supposed to be like some sort of like almost like a metaphysical thing that happened where
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
his passions overwhelmed him.
Yeah.
Forget
It's
the biological
psychosomatic.
reality.
I
of
mean,
it. Yeah.
Physiological.
Don't forget, like it's quite an important plot line that we kind of got wrong up to. But Ivanhoe's still not fit. He's still
Yeah.
suffering from his wounds that he picked up at Ashby.
Right.
And also, there's another little a little bit that goes on there where there's a subplot that happens sort of at the beginning of the third act where the sort of Svengali Peter Mandelson type figure for Prince John gets a gang together to go and because they suss out that the Black Sluggard is King Richard.
Yeah.
And they set out a party to ambush him and kill him in the forest, and he's among them. And it turns out to be it's
Waldemar Fitzurse. Yeah,
it hurts. They ambush the guys. Wamba saves the day.
Yep.
Wamba actually saves King Richard, I believe.
Right. Yes, he does. Yeah.
And there's been all this when they find out that it's King Richard, all the knights who are collaborating with Prince John start shitting themselves and think they're going to get killed by King Richard when he gets back for revenge for what they've been up to. But he doesn't do that. The only bloke he does it to is it hurts because he actually literally tried to kill him personally.
Right. Yeah. The sort of overarching moral with the King Richard figure is that he's supposed to be like he's sort of like, forgive the illusion here, but he's supposed to be like the Christ-like forgiving figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he's gonna like, he represents a path forward for England as a country where he could understand the impetus behind the Saxon sort of identity, and in throughout the story he's become very close to a bunch of Saxons, and in doing so he becomes a champion for their cause, but while also still maintaining the Norman dynasty,
because he realized it's kind of, I mean, I guess it's kind of Carlylean in that he's going, well, yeah, we've got to synthesize.
Yeah.
He understands that his loyalty is to the kingdom of England as a united kingdom as it is at that point.
It is now, yeah.
And he realizes it's going to get invaded by Danes and shit again if it carries on the way it's going. He's got to unite it, and to do that he's got to walk the chivalry talk. You know,
it's kind of like what they kind of promised us with Obama to to mend, to
sure.
Right. Yeah. If we just vote for the black guy, we would stop talking about racism.
So.
And then, I mean, to be fair, it was, although it was a very short reign, he died shortly afterwards.
Yes.
But, which is like this, another sad aspect of the ending of it. But England hasn't been invaded since 1066, so it kind of.
Well, can I just ask a couple of things about that? So yes, he dies shortly thereafter in real life. John, who he did not kill, does end up being the king. But the thing about Richard is that quality of being secure and courageous, and for a little guy made him like not actually a great king. And supposedly that's right. But wasn't there a Danish king after that?
I think you're thinking of after the Glorious Revolution, there was a Dutch king, yeah.
What
but
was
that's
his
because
name?
Mary Queen of Scots, sorry, not Mary Queen
William.
of Scots.
William of Orange.
William of Orange.
No,
Mary
there
of
was
Orange,
like a
right?
King
yeah.
Canute or something.
No, that was way before. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I do know that there was a Dutch king when the Glorious Revolution happened in the 1600s.
I mean, there might have been a Dane, like the German, the
kings are they're German now.
They're from all
they're
over
they're the globalist people.
But there's never been like an interruption apart from the revolution. There's never been a
Canute,
invasion.
1035. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was before this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And then you had Harold. Okay.
Right.
There's a lot to keep track of on all that stuff. Right?
For sure.
And then James, very interesting.
Became Catholic for 5 minutes, and then they didn't kill him.
Fucked everything up. Yeah.
Well, they didn't kill him. But he tried to make friends with the Puritans, if you recall, because he was anti-Church of England. The Catholic king wanted to make friends with the Puritans, and the Puritans were like, "Yeah, we'll be friends with you. Hey, other Protestants, let's kill him." But yeah, so
the royal family is still inclined to be Catholic.
Well, yeah, the High Anglican.
The High Anglican that they that's what they say, and that's the they're still walking that.
They're crypto Catholics.
They're walking that English Revolution line, yeah. But on the other hand, this latest one, I mean, I've got some
He's just like a fucking
ortho
weird-
bro friends who like are convinced that he's really orthodox. I'm like,
What?
dude,
Chucky
like,
3?
show me
The Chucky 3?
show me these
He's a
media
pagan.
articles. Yeah, the
He's
show
a
me.
Freemason. He got circumcised by a rabbi, bro.
I don't know. But
Wow,
like, there shows
really?
these articles where he's saying how great Orthodox theology is.
Well,
And-
he says
and
that about everything. He's
exactly,
like
yeah, and I was
Doctor
like-
Who's psychic paper.
just-
Like
I mean,
whatever you are, it's gonna reflect.
5
back
minutes
at
later,
you.
I say in the same article about Islam, Quakers,
Yeah.
whatever.
But
you
look
want.
at his inauguration thing or whatever coronation thing. It's got like Pan on it. It has
Yeah.
like a a goat deity or something somewhere.
Yeah.
I know
But
you have a
that's-
heart out. I
do.
want to do whatever you want to do, and I have one paragraph, the second to last paragraph, the
Okay.
The one thing I wanted to get out was
anti-penultimate paragraph.
the one thing I wanted to get at was like that King Richard, like it's sort of like presented in the same way that Scott thought about unionism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's what I wanted to get out is really that like it was sort of a contemporary political comment on the idea that Scotland should be like a positive influence on unionism, not like an adversary to it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he equivocated them with the Saxons being a positive
Yeah.
influence on the Kingdom of England as it was after the Norman conquest. And indeed, it is a fact that it did kind of become one culture over time between the Saxons and the Normans. It took a long time to do that, but it was ultimately a somewhat successful project. No docs, obviously, but William does have a Norman last name.
Yeah.
I think he's arguably the Platonic ideal of England.
Yeah,
I
that's why
was puzzling about your last name. Interesting. But he did, like, if you read about Scott, his thing about Scotland is he was super sad that they were going to lose their like real true culture, but he felt it was kind of
But
hopeless and you have to move
he's
forward.
the
just
reason
like
why-
the Saxon thing.
Scott is the reason why Scotland hasn't lost its culture.
Why?
Right. The novels that he wrote about Scotland.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
well,
are
that's
Scottish
just a
culture.
reminiscence.
Yeah, but that's that's the reason he's single-handedly created Scottish nationalism.
Interesting. And
In the
and
modern
he's-
era.
it's a
Which, by the way, is now
nominative
represented by
determinism.
Indians.
Yeah,
That's so true. Nominative determinism.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although Carlisle is a town in England.
So, can I read you my paragraph that it was my
Yeah.
favorite paragraph,
Go on,
the
please.
anti-penultimate paragraph? This is because I'm a chick, of course. This is going to be the most because the whole time you have Ivanhoe and Rebecca with this
Or,
smoldering.
Rowena.
No,
Oh, Rebecca. Right. Well,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
one
yeah.
way. It was one way. I don't think that
No.
Ivanhoe liked blonde hair, blue eyes, I think.
no, he would have loved Rebecca if she weren't a Jew, and I'm going to prove it in this anti-penultimate paragraph.
Okay.
Okay.
Rebecca came to Rowena and said thank you. I'm thanking
For all you've
you
done.
that
Yeah.
Ivanhoe helped me. Okay. Rebecca glided from the apartment, leaving Rowena surprised as if a vision had passed before her. The fair Saxon related the singular conference to her husband, on whose mind it had made a deep impression. He lived long and happily with Rowena, for they were attached to each other by the bonds of early affection, and they loved each other the more from the recollection of the obstacles which had impeded their union. Yet it would be inquiring too curiously to ask whether the recollection of Rebecca's beauty and magnanimity did not recur to his mind more frequently than the fair descendant of Alfred might altogether have approved.
There you go.
Hey,
That's
listen,
just-
he's a human
he was-
being.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good, but Scott was so like it was poetic. Like he's so good. He was such a good writer.
Great author,
and,
yeah.
And like I'm almost to the end. There's like 3 paragraphs left, and I'm thinking, he loved Rebecca, and now
I think he was into
satisfied.
her a little bit. I don't
But
know.
he
He loved
satisfied
her.
me.
Yeah.
Scott satisfied me. I'm praising Scott
Yeah.
and he tied that no loose ends.
True
Yeah,
that.
I would
true that.
say read anything by Walter Scott. It's got all good. But if you read
Rob
his,
Roy, I want to read. I didn't even know.
yeah, I read. Well, I'm reading this epic poem Marmion, which has got all these good gags in it. But to make it scan, I have to read it in my head in a Scottish accent.
Right
doesn't
on.
it?
Yeah, I feel
It
that.
doesn't
Totally.
scan.
And how fun is it?
Yeah.
That's so fun to do that. The
Hey.
kids will love that. Come on.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
But yeah, so
I gotta go.
all right. William, great to speak with you. I will speak with you shortly, I'm sure. Monica, anything you want to promote before we get out?
No, I just read books and stuff on my show and do little interviews and stuff at Monica Perez Show.
Beautiful.
Everywhere. Twitter, Substack.
Great.
Yeah.
And for us, www.historyhomos.com for the RSS feed. We're also available on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and Rockfin, of course, still sometimes if it allows us to upload. Yes, it doesn't always allow us to upload.
I didn't
I'm
even
dead
think it
serious.
existed anymore.
It does. But regardless, but mainly I want to direct everyone to www.historyhomospod.substack.com. If you like the show and you want more of the show, that's the best place to go. You got 100% more show if you go subscribe to our Substack page. www.historyhomospod.substack.com. At time of recording, still the friendliest place on the internet is our Telegram group. t.me/historyhomos is the channel. t.me/historyhomos chat is the chat. Follow us across social media at History Homos Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you want to buy one of the straggler T-shirts, email me at historyhomos@gmail.com.
Is it super
I don't have it
blasphemous
here
as I
anymore.
recall?
It's pretty blasphemous, but
Okay,
it's
yeah,
just
I
a
can't have
fun
that,
T-shirt.
yeah.
It's fine. Well, when we run out, I'm going to be doing a new design. So regardless of that, hi doggy. So yeah, die with dignity. William, what do you want to say? What quote would you like to dremel out for this?
I think I'll just I'll repeat it. O woman in our hours of ease, coy, uncertain, hard to please, when pain and anguish rack the brow, a ministering angel thou.
Later, ladies.
Oh, nice.
In Saxon lands beneath Norman crown, where cedar hall met oaken town, a knight rode forth in mail and steel, with lion heart and tempered zeal. I am the knight of Ivanhoe, he swore beneath the banner's glow. Though outlawed name and sire's disdain had cast him forth from Rotherwood's plain. Fair Rowena, Saxon pride, in snowy veil and noble stride, bade courage rise and anger fall, for love, though silent, conquered all. His overthrow will ruin us all. Prince John would sneer in wanton hall, but still the warrior's secret name burned like a hidden holy flame. At Ashby's list the trumpet sang, the spears like thundered rafters rang, and knights in armor bright and dread saw challengers lie cold and bled. As Dishado cried his herald's call, the black shield struck like winter's gall. Boys Gilbert reeled from saddle thrown by strength that fate had kept unknown. Yet Ivanhoe lay weak and worn, his body pierced, his banner torn, and gentle hands of virtue sure brought solace, herbs, and healing pure. Rebecca by the starry height kept vigil through the dying night. If there be those who question my blood, she prayed at least they shall honor my good. But Templar rage and jealous shame made wicked plot and slandered name. The maiden stood in chains of fear, while judgment's doom crept cold and near. She is a sorceress, the council cried, let her be cast to flames and die. Yet conscience stood in armored grace, for it is not by sword but by truth we face. Then came the cry from battlefield red, when Ivanhoe raised his aching head, and stroke for stroke with righteous might he challenged Gilbert to the fight. The Templar fell beneath the sky, no flame need burn, no maiden die. This is God's verdict, priests would say, and tyrant plots were swept away. Now Saxon and Norman side by side learned peace once sworn in hopeless pride. Cedric and son by fate remade, let ancient hatreds falter fade. And in the dawn of England's morn, when loyalty and love were sworn, forgive and forget the wise proclaim, for hope lives long in Ivanhoe's name.